So we've got compliance as per the Oxford English Dictionary. The state or fact of according with or meeting rules or standards. So that is completing your client's VAT returns on time. That's making sure that their accounts are filed when they're supposed to be, that they're paying their tax when they should be, that their tax returns are in on time. And then advisory, having or consisting in the power to make recommendations but not to take action enforcing them. So that's just talking to people, you know, giving them your advice, giving them your input, but obviously you don't actually have any power to input those actions. And that's the Oxford English Dictionary's definition of them. So, you know, compliance is just meeting those statutory deadlines, making sure that things are filed on time, accurately and correctly as they should be with HMRC. It also means doing what you're asked and acting in a compliant way. And I think that, to me, has never been something which has really appealed to me with work, but it's just doing what's absolutely necessary and doing what people want you to do, as opposed to necessarily what you think is right or what you can see is needing to be done. Whereas advisory is really about helping clients out, helping them get through the tough times, helping them maximize the good times, very much being a partner and not a subordinate, and being very much respected and valued when with your clients. And it's very much more of a premium service, okay? I mean, it really, really is. Okay, so what is the difference between being an advisor and being a trusted advisor? Well, being an advisor just means that you're able to offer insight and recommendation on information that you've got a view over, okay? So you've got information in front of you. Oh, well, you know, I can see that from your accounts, you haven't sold as much this month as last month. These are the reasons why I think that might be. Let's just discuss it and let's talk about through some options. And actually, you know, an advisor might just do that by email, or they might just provide some narrative on the management accounts. Being a trusted advisor is so much more than that, okay? It means that your clients actively seek you out. They know they need you, and every time they need to make a decision, or every time that something happens, even if you're in Africa during an apocalypse, they know they can rely on you for help. Now, it is a big responsibility, don't get me wrong, you know. I find it very difficult to take a holiday. The reason I do go to the Serengeti or to the Galapagos or to the Amazon is because actually people can't get hold of me, and you know, it's a rare thing. And obviously I let my clients know I'm out of communication. You won't be able to get hold of me, and I have to prepare for that. But they knew the minute I could contact them, I would contact them, and they all reached out to me, and all of them wanted to have that conversation with me on that Friday morning. So it's a huge responsibility, but it actually comes with big rewards. They're not just financial, but mostly they are financial. People say thank you, but it's not that often, and they soon forget. But what it does mean is that you can charge an awful lot more for the work that you're doing, because you know, there's a premium for that. There is absolutely a premium for them knowing that they can call you at any time and that you'll be able to help them, not just willing, but actually able. Okay, so that's the big difference here. It's being able to help. And I know you're all thinking, but I don't have time, okay? And of course you don't. You're an accountant or you're a bookkeeper, and you never have enough time and you never have enough money, and this is an industry fact. And I've been talking to people now for 5 years about pricing and delivery and systems and process. And unfortunately, we're making incremental improvements, but you know, there's always more for us to do. And because of the type of people we are, we often think that we can't charge for it or whatever. So that's not true, and we need to get over that. But there are some things that you can do in order to help your capacity. I've just got a message here from James. James says, does NLP coaching, mentoring clients require different skill sets when recruiting, not just technicians? Yeah, James, it really does, depending on what you're doing. Now, you might be recruiting for technicians to free you up to be the advisor, but actually you only have so much time and so much capacity. So just bear that in mind, because if you don't want to be doing all of the work, you're going to have to look at the people you recruit. Okay, so actually recruiting, it's a really, really valid question that James has just asked. Very much depends what you want. And actually, technicians do struggle usually. So one of the reasons I'm good at it is actually I'm not a brilliant technician. I can do the job, but I really enjoy it very much. I've learned to be technical, and I spent a really long time being technical, and I really didn't enjoy it. And it wasn't until I realized that actually I was doing the wrong thing, and my skills weren't really in the technical, they were in the analysis that comes out of it, and also the conversation. And then I really started to enjoy myself. So do think about that when you're recruiting and when you're building the team. So yes, back to the not having time. There are two other things that you need to do in order to make this transition and in order to make this transition work for you. And the first is to sort out your pricing. I really don't have time to go through this with you today, but hopefully we can cover that in another session. And because the second thing that you need to do is you need to get your systems and your processes in order. Now, we don't really have time, but I'm going to give you just 6 key things that you need to address in order to start to create the operational efficiency that you need, okay, so that you can increase that capacity to what you want. Now, you should now hopefully be able to see that. Okay, 6 elements to creating operational efficiency. Practice saying that. The first one is process. Okay, you've got to have effective systems. Doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're running a store, you're running an accounting business, you're in a factory, you know, it's well designed, smooth running, evenly paced and standardized systems. Okay, everybody knows what they're doing, when they're doing it, how they do it, and what the point is, what the result is. Okay, so that's the first thing. Components, right? So a system has components in order to function properly, and we'll talk slightly about that when we move into the next resource. But you need to know what those components are. What are you delivering? How are you delivering it? Who's delivering it? You know, what builds that product, builds that system? People are the most important thing that you're delivering. We're productizing, but technically it's still a service. And in order to deliver a service, you've got to have people, all right? And your people have got to be the right people in the right places doing the right thing. So there is absolutely no point asking a deeply technical auditory person to get out there and sell, because they can't do it, because that's not what they do, and they don't like it, and they don't want to have the conversations, and they'll send an email and it doesn't work, all right? So it's really important that you understand who you're recruiting and what you're recruiting them for. Quality, so you've got to have quality control. You've got to make sure that what you're delivering is being delivered well and being delivered consistently and systematically. It's got to be done as fast as possible, but not faster. So it's Einstein's as simple as possible, but not simpler, as fast as possible, but not faster. You've got to be able to deliver on time, efficiently, but also without losing quality. All right, and then measurements, you've got to be able to measure it. You've got to be able to measure what you're doing and continuously improve it. Thanks everybody, and I will see you again very, very soon.